Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. I am your host, Ty Christensen. I am joined by none other than Mad Jordigan. Mad Jordigan.
I wasn't expecting that. Out of the way, Peck.
And we're also joined by the other Show Me the Hidden meeting. That's the different podcast. Sorry.
Close.
Got my podcast confused. I don't own that one. Wish I did. Cameron.
Sup, cheeps?
Sorry, Cameron, I didn't have any clever Willow name for you. I guess I can call you Cameron of Good.
Boo.
That was not good.
Cameron of Good.
Just stick with Cameron.
Of Good. Isn't that such a clever name for the protagonist that's a good person that only wants to do good? And we are joined by a new guest, Lydia.
Hello.
And if you behave, we might just let you back on. Okay, so we are diving right into Willow. This movie came out in 1988. It was directed by Ron Howard.
Probably our only Ron Howard movie that we'll be talking about, but we'll see.
We won't be talking about Solo? Bash on it for a couple hours?
Did he even do that one? I feel like he stole that one, tried to fix what Phil Lord probably made the funniest comedy of the year, and then he just went back and made it unfunny, uncharismatic, and made it safe. Disney, they're so weird with their properties, man. They'll take risks with people like Thor, but they won't take risks like with Han Solo. I don't know why that is. Ron Howard. It's just important that we all understand that Ron Howard is a redhead, and he has a soul. He's the only redhead with a soul. Guys, real quick, Lydia, if you can't tell, is a redhead. Maybe she has a soul. We'll see if by the end of this podcast. Written by George Lucas and Bob Dolman. It stars Val Kilmer, Joanne Warwick Davis.
A young farmer is chosen to undertake a perilous journey in order to protect a special baby from an evil queen.
Wait, Willow's young?
Yeah, he's only 18, dude, when they recorded that.
Wait, whoa, you were blowing my world up. Are you serious? Warwick Davis was 18 years old when they filmed this?
Yeah, I just watched the behind the scenes.
Yeah, this is before R2-D2 and everything.
Oh was he R2-D2? I heard he was one of the Ewoks.
He was an Ewok in Star
Oh,
Wars.
yeah, he was the Ewok that
Ewok.
Leia was friends with.
Yeah.
Nyamba.
Nyamba. Oh my gosh. You remember when Mom and Dad bought a keyboard? The tab button was like Obi-Wan Kenobi saying like, remember the Force will be with you always. So every time you push space bar, a voice of an Ewok or a Star Wars quote. It was so annoying. Typing anything was just such a pain, but you could turn it on and off.
I disagree. It was amazing.
I think my dad really geeked out with us. 18 years old, I can't even wrap my head around that. And he's got 2 kids in this film, and he looks older than Val Kilmer. He looks older than everybody. Maybe just because he acts old. He acts like the parent in this movie at all times. What was it like watching this movie for the first time, and what was it like rewatching it for this podcast? Lydia.
I actually watched this movie for the first time. I can't even remember, it was so long ago. I must have been younger than 9 years old. And this movie straight gave me nightmares. There's so many scenes in this movie that I was like, this is scary. The last time I watched this movie, I think I was actually at Jordan's house. The soundtrack, there's so many scenes, like, oh, it's so good now watching it. I did not appreciate it when I was young. Like, I just thought it was creepy. But it's like such a good story, and I love it.
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint when the first time we were all exposed to this, because I don't remember either. I saw this a long time ago. I think it was one of the movie that my cousin showed me, and I remember thinking, oh, it's got great things in it, but I was terrified too. Trolls and the whole claymation two-headed, butt-headed monster terrified me. And then I revisit, and I'm like, wow, they're still just as scary today.
That creature did look kind of like Emperor Palpatine.
And Mad Mardigan turning into a pig, that's scary.
That's that ties for the Pinocchio when the friend turns after he's playing billiards and he starts turning into a donkey. Those are 2 of the scariest pig transformations I've ever seen.
Have you seen a lot of pig transformations in film, Ty?
No, but you know what? Another thing I actually wrote in my notes for this podcast. This is like the first time I ever saw 2 little people kiss on screen ever. Kaya and Willow. They like have this moment and he kisses her goodbye, and I was like, have I ever seen little people kiss? Not that I'm going to be seeking it out.
Ty's YouTube history. Just like,
Little people making out.
kissing. Oh, jeez. I don't remember the date or something that when I watched it first time because I was so young. But I do remember, like Ty mentioned, we saw it at our cousin's house because our parents wouldn't own such a film, which is devastating. We watched it at our cousin's because they had a much bigger library for movies. I just watched it recently with Lydia. It was such a treat because our roommate had never seen it before.
George, but you later bought it on DVD, right? In like high school?
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that sits in your DVD case and you're like, hey, I own that. Will I watch it? Probably not. I'm not gonna watch it.
That's not true. I watched it. Okay, check this out. So I was visiting somebody from our church, and I was like, "Oh, you own Willow on VHS?" And he's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, I'm like, oh my gosh, we were gonna watch that right now. So we did. We watched it together on his VHS tape. The sound came in. It was like, so it was really bad, but it was still just as good.
Jordan, were you over here when we were trying to pick a movie for movie night, and I saw that you had Willow on your laptop, and all my roommates were like, no, I don't want to watch it. And I was like, it's so great. You have to watch it.
Yeah. We did watch Zorro, though. That was a good pick.
Yeah.
I think I even said, yeah, let's watch it. And you're like, but nobody else wants to watch it. I'm like, okay, well, am I nobody? I get it. Okay.
Oh, don't be offended.
I'm just kidding, Lydia.
I don't think I'd ever seen it completely all the way through. I think the first time I ever tried to watch it, I was with, I think it was Ty or Jordan, or maybe with both you guys with Grant. And I just remember we got like a little bit into it, and then it's the scene where the dogs come in, and then Dad walked in right when the dogs were like attacking the small people, and then Dad's like, "What is this rated? What are you guys doing watching it?" And we're like, "It's PG," and then he was like, "It's an old PG." He's like, "Cameron, get out of here!" And I was like, "What the freak?" I never finished it until I rewatched it 2 days ago. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely a different film, as you can totally tell. It's from a different era. Like I love like the tiny people. What are they called again?
The brownies.
Brownies.
The brownies.
Yeah, the brownies. They're like so smaller, and it's like the CGI is super cheesy, but like I love it. At first, it was kind of taking me out of the film, but after a while, I was like eating it up.
Pun intended, brownies. Eating them up. Yeah, I'm surprised none of them got eaten.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know, dude. I'll have something to say about the brownies. This movie came out after Star Wars: A New Hope. George Lucas had already written like the biggest hit of all time. This is like 11 years, I think, after. There's a lot of similarities between this and A New Hope. There's also a lot of similarities to like Lord of the Rings. It's like a hybrid between those two movies, but I definitely saw a lot of those comparisons. Let's go around and ask two of your favorite things from this movie. Jordan.
First, the music, which hopefully I'm not stealing that and taking that from somebody. James Horner, Cameron, do you know what else he made music for? It's A Beautiful Mind.
Oh, fudge.
I know, right? What's funny is watching Zorro, I was like, oh my gosh, this music sounds exactly like the music in Willow, which it's the same guy that made that music.
Oh, it is?
Oh, yeah.
That makes so much sense. I love both of them.
There's that weird, I can't even describe the sound, but if you watch the two side by side, you will recognize the sounds they make. It's something like, I'm not going to embarrass myself, who I think should deserve the Oscar, is Mr. Burglecut. I love that man so much. Everything from his hair. For some reason, I love guys that are balding and then they just like keep growing out their hair on the sides. Every time he talks, when his nose flare up.
I know exactly the scene you're thinking of too. One day, Burglecut. One day, you'll what? He laughs at his face and starts taunting him, dude. That's the moment that Jordan was sold way too much.
Yes, his laugh is the greatest thing on this planet. The second best part is the baby scene where he's just like, he's sick. Let me see it.
Just vomits in his face.
So
why
good.
do those characters exist? They always do in movies. Like, there's just a character that you love to hate, and then they get pooped on, they get thrown up in their face, and it's just like, yes, justice served. Like, it's so weird. Cameron.
One of my favorite things was the sign language from the sorcerer. I was like bursting out laughing. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I was so lost. Am I supposed to understand this information? I loved how ambiguous the sorcerer was. Didn't understand why everyone wanted to be his apprentice, why it wasn't his finger. I was like, the finger part, I was like, oh, get
It's
it.
because magic is the bloodstream of the universe.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck?
What?
My second favorite thing was the random love story between Matt Mardigan and I just thought it was like super funny how they get the love potion, the most like hardened girl or whatever to like fall in love with him.
Those are two of your favorite things from this movie. I think it says volumes about this movie. Lydia.
One of my favorite moments is all of them have to do with Mad Mardigan. He's my favorite character. When they're in New Zealand, like in the snow place, and they got captured, there's this point where Willow goes, they're like fighting and they're trying to escape, and he looks at Mad Mardigan and he's like, you are great. And Mad Mardigan like flips his sword and then he totally slips. That scene was just so perfect for me. And I think also the scene where he's like pretending to be a woman so that that guy's wife, he doesn't find out that he's messed around with his wife. And he's just like, oh no, don't touch. Just like covering his face. Oh man.
Covering his 5 o'clock shadow.
And then the guy is like, do you want to breed? It's just like,
Tempting, but no.
You know, the music and the love story, but those were already said.
Does the love story work with Saoirse and Matt Mordigan? I don't know.
You know, they actually got married because of this movie.
Oh, what up, Ty?
No way. Oh, brother.
They had 2 kids. Can you believe that?
Real chemistry really happens.
So that was real love you were seeing on set, Ty. That was a real romance.
Maybe it was the only real thing in this movie, which is why I didn't fall for it, I guess. This movie's crazy. It's surprisingly quotable, but I feel like a crazy person when I quote this movie because I don't feel like anyone gets any of the quotes. And my second favorite thing would be Val Kilmer just dials it up to 11 in this movie. There's a few scenes where I think he's overacting in a way, but in a way that's so pleasing. It's like watching Nick Cage in a movie that he's just going ham and he's just having the time of his life, you know, he doesn't care. Oh no, there's a peck and he's got an acorn pointed at me. Oh, we're headed down to the lake or something. And then he's like, oh no, that's the way I'm going. It's like so over the top. I'm kind of surprised he wasn't more of like a Harrison Ford action star after this, you know, he carries his weight. He looks like he belongs carrying a sword, and there's some fun choreographed fights. He's charismatic. He's kind of unhinged. He's like the bad boy, doesn't believe in the cause, and then at the end he cares about the cause. Every time they say the word peck, I just die laughing. I don't know. Excuse me, sir, out of the way, peck. Excuse me, can you spare some milk for the baby? She's like, get out of here, peck. Throws cabbage in his face. The baby's crying. I can comfort her. And then she's like, I don't need your help taking care of a baby, peck. I was like super mad at Willow and so mean to him. They made up a lot of weird dialogue for this movie. Nelwyn's and Daikinis or whatever.
Daikini, baby.
Daikini. This show is kind of, it's like campy, but it basks in that great, good campy zone.
Hey, you keep saying campy all the time. What? Define campy?
Campy, it's like self-referential. It kind of winks at the camera in a way. I don't know. That's what I define campy as.
I don't get it.
Wait, so you don't understand like what campy films are, or my definition of campy films?
Yes.
But I know it when I see it. How about that?
Jordan, 2 of your least favorite things about this movie.
Wait, what? I don't have... This film is perfect. There's nothing bad about it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Lydia?
The scene where they're with the fairy people. There's like the mother fairy that's like floating. Why did they zoom up just on her face? I just want to know. Like, again, nightmares of just floating heads. Reminiscent of the Teletubby baby in the sun. You know what I'm talking about? They zoomed up on her face and there was like no end to the edge of it.
I have so many things I could like talk about because I think they're funny. I don't think that they're like bad. And that's why I think this film is campy, because I could explain it right here. Like when someone rolls down a hill, I don't think they turn into a giant marshmallow snowball. Like, I don't know why that happened.
Great.
It's funny for a gag. In the world of magic, I mean, you could argue snow doesn't act the way it does in normal. That's what I mean by campy.
Where did you pick up this word? I'm just wondering now. It's driving me crazy.
Oh my gosh.
You know how he comes out in the gold armor when they're like fighting the trolls? That's campy.
Tacky is another word for it.
Am I not hip or something? Is this a new word people have been talking about? Or has this always been around?
I'm just going off context, Jordan.
I've never heard it in my life, Jordan. Lydia's just figured out how to use it in 3 seconds. It's not that hard. Okay, nice.
Well, she gave an example from this film, and I don't understand why my examples didn't work on you guys.
One of the things that totally took me out of the film I thought was really weird, Willow's wife cut off her braid to give to him for good luck. That's the weirdest fetching thing I've ever seen in my life. What the fudge? If my wife did that to me or anyone ever did that to me, I'm like, thanks, I'm throwing that away.
Cameron, they did it in Bachelorette, okay?
Exactly why those people are weird. That, and then also, a lot of times the mouths just seemed off. I don't know if that was like just on my TV or something like that. And then also just kind of the dialogue just a couple times just would take me out of the film. Matt Mordigan's girlfriend, she's like, that should make my mother happy. I was like, what? That's such an unnecessary line. Obviously, you could deduce that, but I don't know. It just kind of took me out of the film, certain dialogue.
She has mommy issues.
If you want to talk about dialogue, there's a scene where she finds out her daughter is with Matt Mordigan, like in the field outside their gate or their wall, and she's like, traitor child, I must despise you now. What? Like, who wrote this? George Lucas? This is insane. He leaves his 2 children unattended at a riverside. Now, if you have kids, you don't leave them near bodies of water, ever. And the mom chides him for it, but it's like, this is your guy, the chosen one, to carry someone else's kid, like, across the dangers of Daikini land.
Dakini. It's Daikini Tai. Get it right?
Excuse me, my pronunciation. And then there's the scene where the hogs come for the city and they're like terrorizing everybody, and the daughter's standing there in the middle of the city crying for her dad. He saves his daughter, but then after they spear the dog, the son appears out of nowhere. Where was the son? He had no idea where his kids were. To his credit, maybe this doesn't happen every day, but it's like, I don't know, man. Don't trust other little people. You know, don't trust anyone in a community like that. You gotta keep your eyes on your kids. I just think he's not a great dad.
I thought of a good question is what movie terrified you as a child? Because this was among the list.
Gosh, I was terrified of Gremlins. Gremlins scared me so
gosh.
bad. There's this scene where the professor's like going under his desk and he has his hand under there and you don't see it, and then he's just like, ah! Like screaming, and then like he has like a needle in his butt, which is supposed to be really funny, but when you're a kid, you're like, that green creature from hell stabbed that guy with a needle, and it scared me so bad. And then obviously when the thing melts at the end, I mean, you can see it's like a puppet on strings now. The Christmas tree, an iconic symbol that we all keep in our living rooms that's supposed to bring cheer and joy, literally is attacking her and trying to scrape her to death. Need I say more? Gremlins is not a kid's film. That and Jaws was the only other movie that really affected me. I was terrified to go into the ocean after I saw that.
My movie was Neverending Story, and it wasn't any of the creatures.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, the wolf did scare me.
Oh my gosh, the things with lasers in their eyes.
Yes, that was what I was going to say. That terrified
Giant
me.
sphinxes.
Most men come running, screaming in terror. Yeah, that scene is terrifying.
I haven't seen that movie in years, but I remember that scene.
Yes.
Dude, the flying dragon scares me too, dude. The fact that he's like his friend, dude, that thing gives me
Falcor.
Oh, I
nightmares.
love him.
I love children. He's Clifford, the white giant dog. He's so great.
I was like a freaking child molester, dude.
No, what terrified me was that kid reading it in the attic of the school, and then that wolf stuffed head comes down,
Oh
and he's
my
like,
gosh, yeah.
"Ah!" And then like the real wolf is attacking Treyu at the same time. It's like, it's almost too much for a kid's mind to handle. And you know what's crazy? They toned that movie down. The real German version, like the book, is like 10 times more disturbing. Like Sebastian. In the sequel, he comes back and destroys the Neverending Story land. Crazy stuff. You can't make this stuff up for kids.
They used to. Disney's finally when they decided to switch all those old stories to the Brothers Grimm, because all those were terrifying stories.
The other one was that Pinocchio I mentioned earlier, when that kid transforms into a donkey.
Oh,
And then the guy that owns Pleasure Island, he's like, when they come back, they don't come back as boys. And his face turns into the Satan himself. It's the most terrifying face. And still image that burns into my head today. I remember you watched Alien 2, Jordan, and I remember you did not sleep that night because I wanted to play Nintendo. So all I did was play Nintendo. You come to me and you're like, I just watched the most disturbing thing ever. A lady has an alien like living inside her stomach, and you're telling me this in like gory details, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, Jordan, stop! I didn't want to watch it. Why are you telling me everything? And then he's just like, yeah. And then she's like, kill me! Thank you for that.
It wasn't the aliens that were scary. It was the girl, like, you know, waking up.
The Black Cauldron, that one was pretty scary. And then also there's another one with like a mouse.
The Secret of Nim, Cameron, is that the one with the owl and the rats where they've been like genetically mutated and they're really smart? Yes. And there's that creepy old owl with the glowing eyes and the spider.
Yes, that thing
comes after.
scared me so bad as a child.
Her whole home with her children inside it are sinking at the end into mud. It is by far the scariest kids movie.
That owl used to scare me so much.
How about that cat, Tiger, with like the one scratched out eye?
The Great Mouse Detective, that was the one I was thinking of. The very end with the crazy rat.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Or how about this scene where the little bat captures the girl? That thing is terrifying. It's like,
It kidnaps a girl, I know.
that Ernest Scared Stupid movie. The girl has the scene where she looks under her bed, nothing's there, and then she lies back down in bed, and then she opens her eyes, and the freaking troll is laying in bed with her.
These are all PG movies, too.
Jurassic Park when I was, I think, 8 or 9, Jordan showed me.
In my defense, I was trying to be a cool brother.
Mom and Dad were out of town, so he's like, okay, I'm gonna show you. And then I was doing fine the entire time, but then like the T-Rex scene, that one really got me, especially because we had the sound blasting and then like the roar of the T-Rex. Oh man, I told Jordan I had to go to the bathroom, but I was so freaking scared. I was hiding in the bathroom until that scene would finish because I was like, I'm about to like pee my pants.
Jurassic Park used to scare me so bad when I was little. That scene where he's like scrambling around in the mud, like, and it's raining and it's dark, and you know something's coming, and he's like just trying to leave and escape because he's like being tricky. That gave me so many nightmares. I was always afraid to go outside when it was raining, like my whole childhood.
No, not to mention Alan.
Like dark and rainy, and in Washington, like no, like I never went outside when it was dark and rainy.
And I haven't seen the sunlight in 40 years. Like,
I'm generally scared scared though, like I usually stay away from like horror films and.
But all those Disney movies, even they have things about it that scared me. Like Sleeping Beauty, that spindle, every time I kept zooming in on it and she was like hypnotized.
The prick.
Have you guys ever tried watching movies like scary movies without sound? That's when you know it's a real scary movie, because if it still scares you without sound, then they're not just fooling you with like the organs and like the creepy like duh, nah, nah, nah. You know what I'm saying?
Watching The Witch. That's one of the movies where I'm watching it like this close to my face, and then at the end I'm like, yeah.
Jaws totally isn't funny. Jaws isn't scary at all if you don't have the sound on.
Oh yeah?
I believe that.
I don't know. That girl swinging around in the water, I don't care if I can hear what she's doing. It's terrifying.
Oh, good point.
The music does elevate the movie to a whole new status, that's for sure. Going back to Willow, are we still reviewing this movie? Cameron, you mentioned to pick one of my fingers in which resides magic. The first guy chooses the middle finger, which, if you think about it, there is a lot of power in the middle finger, you know? It could say a lot. Chooses the pointer finger, and Willow chooses the ring finger, and I was like, come on.
Yeah, why would you choose that?
The pinky or the thumb, man?
Yeah.
What do I know? Maybe he was thinking, I'm a married man, you know? I got Kaya, got 2 kids. That's where the magic is.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
But he also was like third to go. He should have had the closest chance to it. But here's my beef with this. How many times has this guy actually pulled this trick
That's
out?
what I wondered. I'm like, you can't do it more than once.
You do it more than 2 years in a row, people are going to be like, hey, I know all the fingers are not it. Does the finger change? He tells them, it's not in my finger, it's your finger, which is so weird. Willow, you possess the magic. He has like a disappearing trick, which comes back to play at the end. But what's weird is, in the end, the wand and all the sorcery, it doesn't really help them. She spills the sacrificial blood or whatever the wine is, and then gets zapped by lightning, and she dies. The prophecy said the child was the chosen one to take down this witch. The child did nothing. It sat there like a goober. Willow and the other wizard lady, they're the ones that defeated the evil queen.
Boo, other wizard lady, Ethna. Boo-hoo.
So the prophecy, what did the baby do?
No, the baby's not supposed to do anything. I thought it was when she was going to be queen. It's like, oh, she's prophesied to be ruler, and that's why she was scared. And it's just the same as Snow White.
They specifically say in the movie that she is like the one that's going to destroy.
Do you guys know they made like books? George Lucas, he wanted to do a sequel to Willow, but they couldn't like get it to happen. In the books, Aurora Denon or whatever, she is like a warrior queen, and she really does like go out and like fight dragons and stuff.
Oh, how about that?
There you go, Ty.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, that baby that did a lot of face acting in this movie turns out to be a real hero at the end.
She was the cutest little baby, though.
The magician, his magic never seems to be working. Let me consult the magic bones. He throws them on the floor and he just like looks at Willow.
The bones say nothing.
That was one of my favorite quotes.
The bones have spoken, and then the people are like, praise the bones. They're like worshiping these bones that do nothing. If that wizard has those people, he has them down pat, believing in all this hoax.
Wrapped around his finger.
His magic finger.
I seriously doubt his actual magical ability.
He uses the stone acorn, and it makes one plank of wood turn to stone. And he throws one at the queen at the end, which she stopped. Those acorns were useless. Everything that wizard did nearly got Willow killed. That's my point.
And when he throws the bird in the air, and he's like, go the direction of the bird. And they're like, it's going the wrong way.
It's going back to the village.
He's like, forget the bird.
Ignore the bird. Maybe that's why the magic did reside with Willow. Because guess what? Willow does the magic disappearing trick on the baby. Huh? Right? So he doesn't need that dumb wizard. Bite-sized Gandalf. I don't know if that's insensitive. Nearly gets Willow killed so many different occasions. And it turns out that all he had to do was believe in himself and do his disappearing magic trick to beat the evil queen and overthrow her. Because she freaks out, spills her sacrificial wine or blood. I don't know what that stuff was. And then gets zapped by lightning and is gone forever. Did they even need this big showdown? She was up in that tower. She's going to get zapped by lightning one way or the other that evening. So I don't know.
Can we go back to the bite-sized Gandalf? Because if we're comparing this to Lord of the Rings, do you think like the old lady is Gandalf-like character, or do you think bite-sized Gandalf is?
Yeah, it kind of shifts. Gandalf is the one that initially starts it off, but then later he comes back as Gandalf the White, so the witch is kind of Gandalf the White.
And
Yeah.
Frodo totally lost his Sam early on. I was like, wow, what a lame
Yes,
friend. He's like,
yes.
I'll go home, tell my wife I love her. All right, I will.
And he's like, hey, Mikosh, you should go home. And he's like, okay. We don't even know if Mikosh has family. Willow has 2 kids and a wife at home.
And a failing farm, and he's in debt to what's his face?
Burgle cut.
Yeah, Burgle Cut, and he also just like, well, have a a nice life. Knowing full well Burglecut is gonna come for Willow if he doesn't have super successful trip. I don't know.
There's that scene where Ed Mortigan is dressing up as a woman, and the entire time that it took you to dress up in this woman outfit, couldn't you have just left the room with this woman's wife? Why did he stay behind to dress up as a woman just so he could get felt up by this guy and so he could yell, "The other woman!" and then like freak out and then like kill everyone in the bar? Like, it's so crazy. And he says it like 3 times. It's very clear that he's not a woman. But he's also like comes back to find his wife and he's upset that his wife is with a woman. But then it just shows you how sexist this guy is. He comes in and then he's like hitting on his wife's cousin, right? And he asks her right in front of his wife, "Do you want to breed?" Like, who is this guy? This guy, husband of the year right here. Holy cow.
They were just thinking, they're like, how can we start a bar fight so that it can distract? So, and then they're like, I know, Mad Mardigan, gonna be a woman, gonna be cheating with some man's lady. He's gonna be real stupid and start a fight with everyone.
Speaking of real stupid, okay, I have to pick my beef. My least favorite part of this movie is the comic relief. I put in air quotes. The brownie characters, I think they're some of the most cringeworthy characters I've ever seen on screen. I'm sorry. I loved the idea when I was a kid. It's like Jar Jar Binks. When I saw Star Wars when I was 9 years old, I was like, this guy's really funny.
Why would
I was like, Jar Jar Binks is the funniest character.
You didn't laugh when they're like, "A beer!" Like, I love when he jumps in the beer.
One of the most quoted lines from this movie, me and my family do, is when he's flying with Aurora, with whatever he's flying on, the hawk, and he's like, "I stole the baby!" Literally, whenever we play sports in my family, if someone has the ball, they literally say, "I stole the baby." So I really like the brownies, especially when he falls in love with a cat.
The Wilhelm scream appears 3 times in this movie.
I was gonna mention
So when the
that.
chariot overturns, one of the guys fall off a cliff or something, and then at the very end, the brownies release a bunch of arrows or spears and they stab some guys. Blackroot? Okay, so Val Kilmer is eating a substance and putting it in his teeth. Is that not a euphemism for like tobacco? Blackroot, put some hair on your chest. She is the daughter of royalty. The last thing she wants is hair on her chest. The love potion, is it also a euphemism for ecstasy? I mean, seriously.
So listen to this. Okay, it says Blackroot is used in ongoing constipations and disorders.
Wait. In the world of Willow or like in real life? I'm so confused. Is Blackroot a real thing?
In real life, I mean, it's probably different because it doesn't look like the same thing.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh,
It's just forgot. It puts hair on your chest and it empties your bowels. Like, what the freak?
Ty, I totally understand that nitpick of the first thing he saw he fell in love with was the cat, and then the first thing that Matt Mortigan saw was Willow, and I was like, this is about to be weird.
By that logic, he would have been in love with Willow, but he's all like, hey, it's cool, we're platonic and everything. But then when he sees the Sorsha, he falls in love with her, and then the hijinks of, oh, he's not supposed to like her, and then she'll betray the queen because she likes Val Kilmer. He's just such an attractive man. She just can't deny him. Like, I mean, I guess it's between Val Kilmer and Sergeant Kale or whatever his name, Superfood Salad. What's his name? Sergeant Kale, right? The skull-wearing guy.
He was actually named after a movie critic. That's why they named one of the bad guys in the movie.
No way. Oh my gosh, I love it.
And it's like this lady, like her last name is Kale or something.
That is
it's
so
so
funny.
funny.
I love it.
that's great.
Taking shots at the...
They did the same
my
thing,
God.
Ty, in Lady in the Water. Remember, they named one of the guys, he was literally a movie critic, and then they killed him off. It was hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, this is the scene where I turn and you miss me just by a narrow, fraction of a second. And then he turns around before he takes a step. He's like torn in shreds. There's a scene where they're in the tent in the snow fort, and then he's like talking to the old witch, and she's like, I don't know what animal she is at this point, but he's like, who are you or whatever? And she's like, well, I'm actually a very beautiful woman. And then Val Kilmer looks at Willow and he goes, concentrate. Concentrate, Willow. Like, it's the weirdest scene.
That made me laugh a lot too. Concentrate, Willow.
There's a great scene where it's Sorsha. She like goes into the trap door that she finds, and she like slowly descends the steps. My theory is that she did it on purpose. Burn the cottage down. Like, they're hiding in the only trap door in this village, in this house.
The scene where he's like, you're my moon and stars. You see it in her face. She's like, oh. And then she's like, no. And then he keeps going. She's like, what? No. You could tell she wants to do it. It's so funny. So I think you're right. I think it was purposeful. She wanted to be hostage.
Val Kilmer steals the show when we first meet him. Let me go. I love that child more than anything. Burgle Cut's like, I trust him completely. He goes, he tried to strangle me earlier. Everyone's like, yeah, trust Mad Mortigan. He, time and time after again, loses the kid. Not like the best judge of character. Eric is like, they're in that basement, and he's just like, yeah, you're a thief. You steal things all the time. Willow comes to Mad Mortigan's defense, and he's like, he's not a thief. Willow, in the time that you've known him, he stole milk from a baby, another man's wife, and someone's food carriage at the inn. Like, he has done nothing but steal. And then he's like, but you're not a thief, are you? Willow, what makes you think he's not a thief? You met him locked up in a cage.
Right before that, when they're all chained up and getting pulled by that carriage, Mad Mardigan carries Willow. Because he's tripping. See, he did one good thing.
At that moment, he's like, I trust him. He just saved my life, right? Yeah, you don't want to believe it. Never meet your heroes. They'll always disappoint you. That's what this movie teaches you. Willow does something with the wand and turns him into a thing that turns itself inside out, and it's like mucusy and bubbly, and then he kicks it and it lands in water and it turns into like, it's like the freaking Gremlins. That's why this movie scares you so much. It goes into water and it turns into this giant butt-headed two-headed monster. It eats the other trolls, so it was once a troll. Is that cannibalism? I don't know. It's once removed because he's been transformed.
Once removed cannibalism.
My favorite line. You all are pigs. And she starts snorting, and then everyone turns into pigs, and it's terrifying. You see Val Kilmer throw his face up, and he's got like tusks and a big nose, and he's squealing.
That's just
Absolutely
horrifying.
Pig squealing is a scary sound. It always sounds like someone's like boiling them in oil or frying bacon like while they're still alive.
It reminds me of Minecraft attacking a pig.
It is.
Speaking of the pig sound, there's that scene where like the witches fight, and then she's in the tower and she's like laying like knocked out, and then she walks up, throws back the tassel like over her face. She like wakes up and she's like, yeah.
Or when they're fighting,
so
she's
bad.
like, nang, 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 nang.
Yes.
There's so many parts of that scene, but it's so cringy because it's just these two old ladies fighting.
Place the child on the altar. No, you stupid hag. Willow got the gall to insult the queen. Like, it was intense. And then she gets struck by lightning, it's all over. Just didn't understand the prophecy.
And this is a lot of time travel movies when I watch with Cameron.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, it's like they try to prevent it, but actually they end up creating the occurrence because...
Did you mention Voldemort or not? Like, I was thinking of that. Like, Voldemort's like, oh, there's going to be a child I'm going to go kill him, and then consequentially made
him immune, yeah.
a link tethered to him, that would prevent him from actually getting rid of
And
him.
it's
Yeah.
also kind of like Star Wars. They say, oh, Luke is going to be the one, but it was actually Darth Vader that was the one.
Oh, and guess what? It's also written by George Lucas. I'm sensing a pattern here.
It reminded me a lot of like Court Jester mixed with Home Alone and 007. I was thinking of Skyfall, the defending the castle. How the fudge he set this up in like 3 seconds? They're coming! And then like 3 seconds later, he's got like all these traps set up.
You know how, Cameron? He's Mad freaking Mortigan, that's how.
Because I'm Batman.
Migosh and Willow are like, hey, we're going to go back. We're going to be heroes. Maybe we'll get medals. And at the very end, Willow saves the whole town. No medal! Join the Chewbacca Club. The bite-sized Merlin or whatever, Gandalf.
Merlin?
He fails Willow.
Do you not remember what Dwight Schrute said? You're such a fan of Office. He says, do you think Han Solo saved those people for a cold beer? Do you think he did it for a medal tie? Just saying.
That was beautiful, Jordan. No medals necessary.
I wrote like a whole page, the similarities between Lord of the Rings and Willow and Star Wars.
In my writing class in college, they talked about if you want to structure a story in the hero's journey, he put all three of those films right next to each other and Harry Potter, and they were all exactly the same. I'm like, oh.
Compelling story, fun characters, and dialogue, like, it works.
And that's why all the Disney movies, Avengers movies, are starting to feel like it's formulaic. It's just like it's so tight, and it's just like, this is how it is, beat for beat.
So the next segment is who wins the Academy Award for Willow?
Oh, it's definitely Burgle Cut. I'm sorry, guys.
Burgle Cut. Best supporting actor, Burgle Cut.
Definitely Mardigan.
I'm torn. Either he gets the Razzie or he gets the Academy Award. Willow or Val Kilmer.
It's Burgle Cut by a landslide, but that's okay. You just want to say the names?
Val Kilmer is my vote.
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer,
Definitely.
yeah, definitely, all the way.
Poor Jordan gets voted down. So the Academy Award goes to Val Kilmer, and maybe he would have had a different career and he would have been in more action films.
He wasn't Heat, dude. Oh, have you even finished that movie yet, Ty?
I fell asleep. It's so long.
Oh
I
my
need to
gosh.
finish that one,
I can't talk
they
to
should
you.
make it into a Netflix part 6, episodes, and then I'd probably finish it. Who wins the Razzie for worst
Well, okay,
acting?
and it doesn't
Goes
necessarily need to
to-
be like bad acting. It could just be like over the top where like they're dialing it up to an 11.
Definitely Ethna, the old witch.
Yes.
Boo! Boo! That took me out of the film. Every single scene she was in, I was like, I just don't even want to watch. It was just so cringy. It hurt my
I
brain.
loved her. She's my favorite.
She's the worst.
I liked her as when she was like in her animal forms, but as soon as she became like an actual witch, then yeah, she was really annoying.
She wasn't even like powerful. She literally did like nothing. She did like 1 or 2 spells, and I was like, that's all. What?
I mean, she saved Willow from becoming a pig. That's kind of nice.
That's like the only thing she did.
My favorite scene is, it was already mentioned, but the fight between the 2 witches. But when she's like, yeah. I love that so much. Makes me laugh every time.
Starts losing her mind at that point. Just early Alzheimer's settling in.
They start fist fighting and they're like punching each other and they're like blood. It was almost more epic than the fight between the 2 wizards in Lord of the Rings. Oh my gosh.
Don't even say that.
I'm gonna need you to settle down.
You're speaking blasphemy, Jordan.
If you ever say that again, I'll kill you.
When they start moving rocks and stuff around that chamber, it reminds me of Yoda and Palpatine when they were fighting.
Yeah, with Count Dooku.
Yeah, the whole force power. Oh, but it's magic. It's not the force.
Right.
It's the bloodstream of the universe. Midichlorians, tiny microscopic organisms that all come together. Hero's journey. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't let Mad Mortigan babysit.
I think it's pretty close to the Lord of the Rings theme. Put great power in small hands. Keep saying he's like, I'm so unqualified. I have no idea what I'm doing. And everyone's like, keep going.
I keep thinking of Luke Skywalker in the newest Star Wars when he's like, you can be a Jedi too.
I still haven't seen that. The message I kind of felt like it was given off was like, first off, believe in yourself. Sometimes the best solution is the simplest solution.
Would you recommend this movie?
Can I start?
Please,
100% yes. Everybody and their kids should watch this.
I don't know about the children, but
If I was scarred as a child, your children should be scarred too. I'm just kidding. I don't know what else to say except that I absolutely love this film.
it's so great. I'm speechless. Yeah, it depends. If you're in a mood kind of for, it reminds me a lot of The Court Jester. But this is like not a comedy. It's just like funny because it's good but not good at the same time.
I don't know. I almost label this as a comedy fantasy. That's even a genre.
I don't know. I would just say fantasy cringy.
See, you use the word cringy. That's a good term for campy.
Oh, we're
too.
back on this again?
Oh, we're
Okay.
back on the campy.
See, that's why this podcast, it's a full circle, man. It all comes back.
Lydia, would you recommend it?
Oh, I'm sorry, Cameron. Did you want to host? You go right ahead, sir. I'm so sorry. The magic is in your finger now. I hate you so much, Cameron.
My turn? Okay, so I would totally recommend this movie, and I think it's best for all ages because it's one of the main jokes I have with my siblings. It's a gem that if you haven't seen it, you should. I feel like everybody I've watched it with was like, weird but satisfying.
Yes, right?
So I have never heard any complaints. It's a gem. And you instantly connect with people who have seen it in their childhood.
It's true.
10 out of 10.
You're like, you had weird family too? I thought I was the only one with weird family.
I watched the second half with Grant. After he watched it, he was like, I'm glad I didn't watch the first half.
Oh, whatever. Grant, what a bum.
He started off at a super weird part. I think it was when like the fairy people came, and I was like, "Write it out, man. Write it out. We're in it together."
Would I recommend this movie? Absolutely. This movie is goofy. It's a little bit of everything. Fantasy comedy? Like, I don't know if that floats your boat. I'm not really selling the movie, but if you've heard us talking about it here and it seems funny to you, definitely check it out because it's got charm, funny one-liners. Val Kilmer is a delight.
I was just thinking about the snowball scene.
Giant marshmallow, dude, rolling down the hill.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Does anyone have any final things they'd like to say about Willow?
It's a perfect movie.
Not the woman. That's my favorite quote. I was like, what the fudge am I watching? The only one that I thought was super cringy was the I miss you already.
Dude, that's George Lucas's writing right there. I don't like sand. It's rough and it's coarse and it gets everywhere. What are you looking at? That leg? I want to break it.
This girl told me, like, I just met her and we exchanged numbers. And then she said that. She's like, I miss you already. I was walking away and she texted that. And I was like, what? You don't even know me. But maybe she was quoting Willow.
She might have been quoting Willow.
Run, Jordan, run.
Wait, did you talk about Willow when you met her?
I don't remember. It's been years.
If I threw out a a random Willow quote to a guy and he got it, mad points.
He's the one.
If I was like, you insolent peck, and he started laughing, that's just gold.
Peck, 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 peck. There's a great scene too. Val Kilmer is sitting in the cage and he's just like, I want some water. And then he's like, give me some water, Peck. And he's like strangling him and then he lets him go. And then they don't give him water. But then later he's like, I don't even know why I tried. And he starts pretending to cry. And then he brings him water and he goes, oh, thanks, man. And he like takes the water. He's like, going to drink it right away. Dude, Val Kilmer just going for it. If anything, watch this movie to see Val Kilmer.
Oh, you put tears in my eyes. Oh, jeez.
Build a perfect movie. You use 2 movies, Rotten Tomato scores, to equal as close to 100% without going over, or you bust. Does that make sense, Lydia?
I have no idea, but sure, let's do it.
I'm gonna start with Lady in the Water. Thought of one, Cameron.
Yeah, I already got mine, Chef. I'm always ready. Never-ending Stories 2.
Yes, yes. That one's probably got like completely trashed out.
Better gotten less than a 10, dude.
Well, it's a really fitting title. It says The Never-Ending Story 2, The Next Chapter.
Do you know Jack Black's in the second one, Cameron?
Really? I saw it a long time ago. I don't remember
He's
it.
not in the second one. He's in the third one.
Oh, the third one. Cameron, do you want to do the third one?
There's a third one. No, I'll stick with 2. I need at least a couple points. 3 is going to give me like 0.
I'll do a movie called Legend, I think it's called. It's got like Tom Cruise in it. Is that what it's called?
Legend.
So it has to be fantasy.
Our guests have gotten away with some pretty... Like, we characterized Space Chimps 2 as a thriller, so...
Can I choose Jumanji, the first one?
Like the new Jumanji?
No, the original, the OG.
Wait, real quick. I can't find Legend.
Then look it up on Google. You go, The Legend. It's a 1985 film. Wasn't that hard. Holy cow, you guys are autistic.
Whoa, don't offend the autistic people.
Yeah, wait, it's 38%.
Lady in the Water. It got 25%.
Perfect. I want to go low.
And the Never-Ending Story, too.
14%.
Yes, baby.
You had Jumanji, 54%. 54%?
54%? Really?
That's really surprising.
Yeah, I thought it would've been
remember
higher
thinking
than that.
That's like the greatest movie of all time.
That's cheese, dude.
You're going to have to look for a 48%, so another mediocre movie.
I didn't think that one was mediocre.
I know, me neither.
Just goes to show that Rotten Tomatoes doesn't know anything.
I gotta choose the right Harry Potter. One that was good, but not too good.
The right Harry Potter.
Let's go with Harry Potter in the Chamber of Secrets. Show me the money, show me the money. That's probably 70, 80%. No way. If it's above a 90, I'm literally gonna murder somebody.
Let's do Oz the Great and Powerful. I was going to do Wizard of Oz, but that one might be too high.
Bust.
Oz the Great and Powerful is gonna be low.
I don't know.
Too late, he already decided.
I don't know about that.
Too late, already decided.
I'll choose Lion and the Witch in the Wardrobe, Chronicles of Narnia.
Dude, you're gonna
I'm gonna do
bust, but
the
okay.
second or third one, Prince Caspian.
Prince Caspian or the Dawn Treader?
Voyage.
Are you looking at the scores right now and deciding, Ty? You better not be cheating.
No, I'm
Yeah, cheat it!
no, dude, I don't cheat in this game. I'm just debating if I want the first.
Well,
or
pick
second.
one
I'm
quick.
gonna do the second. I'm gonna do the second.
Prince Caspian.
I'm Prince Caspian.
I was expecting my first one to be much higher, so now I don't know.
Well, you can go low. I mean,
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
You're just gonna
at
lose to me and
54%.
Jordan,
You
but
don't
it's
want to.
okay.
You don't want to bust. You know?
well, we might have busted, though, so I'm pretty sure.
I definitely didn't bust. I'm a genius.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. Chamber of Secrets wasn't that good.
Can I choose Spy Kids? The first one.
I actually think that got pretty good ratings.
I'm expecting that one to
Oh,
be low, but you know, I expected my first one to be high.
There's like 3 Spy Kids, so I would choose one of the other ones. I wouldn't do the first one. First one, I think, got
No,
high
dude, if you
ratings.
choose any of the other ones, it's
Yeah.
gonna be like 12%.
All right, well, you do what you want to do.
I'm gonna choose the first one. It's gonna be around 50, I think. Or
Oh,
lower.
Spy Kids 3D.
I think it's gonna. I think
one's
you're
the
gonna
best
bust. You
one.
should have gone with the second or third, but that's okay. This is you. So.
Dude, that's a scary thing from my childhood. Those thumb people.
The
in-
thumb
in
people.
Spy Kids. Oh my gosh, that's scary as crap.
Not as creepy as when he's like mushing the guy's face together.
Dude, Spy
Okay.
Kids is kind of scary.
I really want to win.
Jordan, you had Lady in the Water, and Oz the Great Powerful was 58%, so you have a total of 83%, Jordan. Cameron, 14%. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, 83%. You have a total of 97%.
Oh, you suck.
Nice.
You cheated.
flippin' work.
I know it. I don't trust you.
Boy.
I picked Legend, I got 38%. Second, Chronicles of Narnia,
Busted.
Prince Caspian, and I
Prince
got
Caspian.
67%. So I busted. I went at 105%.
Told ya.
I busted.
Really?
And
67?
Lydia,
It got more than Jumanji.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Prince Cat, the sequel of Chronicles of Narnia, the well-revered franchise that didn't derail at all, and that everyone remembers. The first one I was like, is too good. The second one, still too good. What on earth?
Rotten Tomatoes is unreliable.
Lydia, it
It
is.
is.
It's just unbelievable.
IMDb is the bomb.
But that's why I like Rotten Tomatoes, because it's unpredictable. IMDb is probably absolutely accurate. Lydia, your first pick, Jumanji, 54%. Spy Kids, 93%.
I told you, don't do Spy Kids 1.
Are you kidding me?
That is like a darn near perfect movie, and I don't understand
It's
why.
not perfect. It's awful.
That is hilarious.
I was expecting Spy Kids to be like 12%.
Well, you should have picked the second or third one. Those ones are.
I should have done Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah, that would have
That
definitely been in the
would've been
third
better.
grade.
83 from critics, 46% of audiences liked it. So, like, what is going on?
The critics were seeing the deeper meaning, man. Those thumb people represents the government or something.
It's because of Robert Rodriguez. The man has insane good style. Like, he's just really fun and creative.
Still a horrible movie.
There was like crickets for a
It's
second.
horribly
I'm
stylized.
explaining why the critics gave it a good
Can
rating.
someone look up Shark Boy and Lava Girl? I want to see if that one's relevant.
You would have had 19%.
Should have gone with that one.
It wouldn't have been enough to win, but you wouldn't have bust. So.
Yeah, you can't beat me.
Oh, whatever. I don't know if I trust you, Cameron.
I don't need you to trust me.
Let me choose the good Harry Potter, but not too good. Chamber of
The
Secrets.
good Harry Potter.
How did you know Chamber of Secrets, Cameron, was just so spot on?
Yeah.
It's like you could have chosen out of 8 different movies, and you're like, that's.
I feel like it's just like, it's a really good film that's kind of forgettable. I don't know, I feel like everyone always like goes to 7 or 4 or 5 or 6.
Or all of them.
or 3.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes
Or 3.
2. Never 1.
3 is one of my favorites because I read the book and then watched the movie, so that's why I didn't want to go with that one because I knew that would be a high rating.
Yeah, Alfonso Cuarón.
But honestly, Chamber of Secrets got higher than I thought it would get. That's just because Harry Potter's just Harry Potter.
Movies that we've seen recently, and then movies that we are excited to see.
Your mind's gonna explode at some of the movies I've seen. Chill.
I haven't seen like a ton of movies because, you know, I like to go to movie theaters and that's not a thing right now. But the last movie I saw,
Excuse.
the last movie I saw that like came out, it's not like the last movie I actually saw, but was Emma. I don't know if you guys saw the new iteration of Emma.
Not yet. I just bought it. I'm excited to watch it.
It's so quirky. It's so different from the other one, and I loved it. And then another movie that I saw was Onward.
Did you like that one? I have mixed feelings.
It made me cry. I think I need to watch it again because, you know, like the first time you watch a movie, you're watching it for like the entertainment of it. And the second time you watch it is for like you're actually analyzing what's happening in the plot and stuff. So when I first watched it, I was just like blown away. I was crying. I did not expect it to be that good. So I feel like I have to watch it again. But my first impression, I loved it.
I enjoyed what I saw. I've only seen the first half. I haven't finished it yet.
Okay, don't shame me for this. I still haven't seen Parasite. It's on my list to watch.
Whoa, taking shots at us for not having comic books, but you haven't seen Parasite?
Listen, no one will watch it with me. I'm with a bunch of people who like are afraid of rated R movies. So I just haven't found someone to watch it with yet.
Parasite's rated R?
That
I'm not looking forward to this one so much, but I am anticipating watching it as soon as it comes out, is the Mulan movie. Because of COVID, they haven't really like said when they're going to bring it out, or at least I haven't been paying attention. But I'm really excited to see how they do that one because they're taking out like the man interest, which I feel like was a really good part of the cartoon. And so I'm going to see how they work around that. I don't think it's going to be good, but I still want to watch it.
Yeah, don't love those Disney remakes. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, not a fan, but I really want to see it because Mulan was like a favorite.
I like it when they tell something different from those stories. Maybe it'll be good because I like Hook when it's like the story years later, or Alice in Wonderland when it's the story years later. Those are fun.
Did you like what they did with Maleficent? Sorry, I'm going to throw that out there.
You know, I thought it was a little weird, the relationship between the aunt and that girl.
A true love's kiss comes from your aunt who stalks you from your window. You know that? I was educated by that movie.
Hey, Jordan, I thought you said you like it when they stray from the original story, dude. Come on, Jordan. Some consistency here, right?
Yeah, I was actually interested in it. The problem is, like, I like when they stray very far from it. This one was, like, almost too close where I was comparing it, and I don't like that.
Too close?
Yeah, nothing like a prince and your aunt kissing you, you know? Both very much the same thing, you know?
I like the first half. I like how you give her a backstory, give her a little bit of humanity. But you're right, the end just fell so flat for me because I was like, the beginning was so awesome. And like they developed this huge arc and they ended it with true love's kiss still?
Same thing Frozen. True love is from your sister, not from any boy. Disney corrupting
It's
our government.
true love.
Corrupting the next generation. You don't need people in your life, you just need an aunt. Or you just need your sister.
Yeah, man.
Then
That's all you need is love. That sweet platonic friendships. I remember thinking, oh, that's really clever. She was like an aunt that's looking out for her. And at the end, I was like, well, I just can't get that hour and a half of my life back. Because it's such a waste. Someone in a meeting room was like, well, why don't we just do what we did with Wicked, with the Wicked Witch of the West, to make her like a good person?
They did that with Oz the Great and Powerful, and it was amazing. I love Oz the Great and Powerful.
I remember you were like so excited to see it, and then we saw it, and we're like, yeah, it's okay.
Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about the ones with James Franco, because I know you have a man crush on James Franco. You were so excited to see the movie, and then you were let down the first time you see it, but maybe you've seen it a few times and changed a heart since. But
No. I swear I loved it. What are you talking about?
Did you guys see that they're gonna do another Ghostbusters?
Oh
dude.
yeah, that's right, with Paul Rudd.
Kill it.
Can we talk about that next time or something?
What is there to talk about? Hollywood is scraping the bottom of the barrel since 1958.
I haven't seen the newest one, like the Lady Ghostbusters.
Oh, don't waste your time. Do not waste your time.
I actually like that one. I'm sorry.
I saw the trailer.
Jordan showed me. He's like, it's actually good, and I was like,
What about the ending dance with Thor? Are you kidding me? That was hilarious.
Thor literally is the only good thing in that movie. It's just because he plays just like total ditz, just like hot secretary, and I thought it was a total like slam on all the movies that like make fun of like having a hot secretary girl, and I thought it was hilarious. But then the rest of the film was just super. Ugh. I hate that actor. She's like really cringy for me.
What? Kristen Wiig? I think she's hilarious.
I don't like
They're
her.
making a kid version, like as in the kids go back to the OG Ghostbusters original ghost hiding place.
That was Stranger Things trailer season 3 or something like that. But yeah, I think I remember what you're talking about. They have like half the cast of Stranger Things, and it's like, here's nostalgia.
I'm pretty sure it's just the kid, but
the wolf kid. Yeah. Are you excited to see that one, or what do you think about that?
Since I didn't see the one with like all the ladies, because I didn't even want to see that, they're pushing it another step further. So I'm like, okay, should I go back and watch them all in order that they came out, or should I just like cut it
Here's
off?
my opinion. Watch Ghostbusters 1,
Yes.
and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Just watch Ghostbusters with Bill Murray and Egon and all the great Dan Aykroyd. Like, that's the movie that you watch. You really don't need to watch any other Ghostbuster movies.
Amen. Testify.
But if you do want to watch the Girl Ghostbusters, I will watch it. I enjoyed it.
You're throwing me off though, because you say you like Oz the Great and Powerful, and not my fave.
Yeah, me
Not my
neither.
fave.
Oz the Great and Powerful. What a snooze fest.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
as tired as James Franco's Sleepy Eye.
That's not one I recommend to people. That's one I personally like because Sam Raimi is an amazing, amazing director.
The only thing I can remember is that hot air balloon scene. That's the only thing I remember from the entire film.
I remember the beginning sort of black and white and small, and then they expanded the image, but it wasn't even as iconic as... They have all the CGI at their disposal, and it's still not as iconic as when Dorothy opens the door to Munchkin.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, you can't compare it to the original. The original's perfect, but this one's
Wait, I'm sorry. I can't compare a prequel sequel to its original source material. I'm sorry. That's the rules of watching this.
No, because it's not. It's a different story. It's just a completely... Anyways.
Wait, I'm sorry. So Wizard of Oz and Oz the Great and Powerful are different stories?
Completely different story.
Where half of the title is literally the same.
There's certain films, Lydia, that I would not recommend like to you or other people, but they're films I love. Like I love The Fifth Element, not one I recommend to girls, but I mean maybe you'd like it. I don't know.
You know, I actually surprisingly enjoy Jupiter Ascending, and I know a lot of people hate that movie.
Oh, you know what's funny? My wife and I
Ty liked
will
it.
go vomit in a bucket. No, I hate
No,
that
you
movie.
watched it and you're like, it wasn't bad. I remember the first time you saw it, you told me it wasn't bad.
No, what I said was,
Here we go.
I'm not mad. I didn't say it wasn't bad. I said I'm not mad. And then the more time I had to think about it, I realized how furious I was that the lady at the ticket booth said, people are comparing it to the next Star Wars. That is literally what the lady that took my tickets. I asked her, I was like, okay, what's Jupiter Ascending? I hadn't even heard of it. And she's like, it's the new Star Wars. And I was like, I've never seen a trailer for it. Let's go see it. And then I'm watching it. And then Eddie Redmayne comes out on screen and I have no idea what's going on. And he's just like, I create life and I destroy it. He like whispers, then he screams.
You know though, like I watched Jupiter Ascending right after I watched The Theory of Everything. The flip of his acting just like blew me away.
You're like, oh, he was such a good actor in that movie and he did such a bad job in this. What a great actor. Great range.
That's why I
you
was
know?
so surprised. I was like, what happened?
No, seriously, it was the same. So it was the very next year he won an Oscar for that film, and then the next year he won a Razzie, which is considered the worst award ever for Jupiter Ascending, which is amazing. Like, how do you do that?
I surprisingly love that movie, and it's like a guilty pleasure. I know nobody really likes it, but I like it.
I'm so glad it found its audience. All right. Jordan, do you have any movies?
Maybe because your expectations were set high.
Yeah.
Wait. Sorry, Cameron. You thought my expectation was high for a movie that I had never seen a trailer for or heard anything about, except for the lady at the ticket booth that said, it's the next thing like Star Wars. Yeah, maybe my expectation
didn't know
did
what
get
she was
high.
talking about.
Yeah, she didn't know what she was talking about. Crazy ticket booth lady. They should fire all ticket booth people that give recommendations.
But they said that, like, isn't the people that wrote Jupiter Ascending were the same people who wrote The Matrix?
So, is your point that, yes, The Matrix 1 was a hit and then nothing else they've done since has been anything but convoluted nonsense?
Hey,
Yes.
shots fired. I still like that movie.
Okay, cool beans. I love The Matrix, but yeah, the second one, third one, you lose me, man. I know they're coming out with they're making a fourth one now, right? I don't know if Keanu Reeves is going to be in it or not. I mean, he kind of dies at the end, spoiler alert, but...
We've gone completely off track, so...
Jordan.
Finally saw My Neighbor Totoro. Oh, and if you have to get going, Lydia, I don't want to keep you.
You're welcome to stay, though.
Just go!
Yeah, you're welcome to stay. I'm not saying like you have to. I'm just saying.
Jordan,
Like,
just go.
okay,
Go.
all right. I was just trying to be respectful of your time.
And we're not paying you for this. So.
I saw for the first time My Neighbor Totoro, and I was getting teary-eyed. That movie's amazing. Holy cow! How have I not seen this? It's the Studio Ghibli. They did Spirited Away, which is amazing.
Oh, like an anime film. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. But Disney bought the rights, and then they did all the voices with like famous people in America. So it's really good.
Is this like the hero's journey for like a little kid?
2 little girls.
I've heard of this movie. I wanted to see it.
Wait, Jordan, just say it again. I love you saying the title of the movie again.
I'm not gonna say it anymore. Okay.
De Toro.
Gonna say it like a Mexican name, dude.
De Toro? I thought you said, yeah, that's what I thought.
Toro.
Mi vecino, De
Oh,
Toro.
jeez. But then I saw Living in Oblivion. Every time I'm at a drive-thru, I download it on my phone. I just watch little parts of it, and so I finally finished it. It's Steve Buscemi. He's a director, and he's making a movie. It's like dreams within dreams within dreams. It's like really good. It's really weird. I don't know if I mentioned last time that I saw Holy Motors with my roommate. It's a really weird movie, like the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but it's really good. Unfortunately, iTunes right now doesn't have The Howling, the first one, so I saw it in a $5 bin at Walmart, so I bought it. So we'll see if it's any good. It's a Joe Dante movie, the same guy that did The Burbs. And Gremlins, he did The Gremlins.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, the guy who did The Birds did Gremlins.
Burbs. B-U-R-B-S.
Burbs is
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
suburbia.
not Alfred Hitchcock. No.
I was like, there's no way.
It was like an Amazon Prime spree. This is what I've been watching. I watched Fighting with Family. It's like a WWE movie.
Is it any good?
I actually really enjoyed it.
Oh, it has The Rock in it?
Did Vince Vaughn do pretty good? Because I started to watch and I'm like, man, I love Vince Vaughn. I love him.
Yeah, he actually does a really good job. He's the heart of the movie. Well, not really. He's like the second heart of the movie. The beating heart is the protagonist, the Paige.
So he's the liver? Just kidding. Keep going.
I watched another movie called Troop Zero on Amazon. It's like a Girl Scout movie.
Oh, yeah.
She wants to reach out to aliens. It's kind of like a novice Wes Anderson kind of feel. It's not as stylized, and it's a little dry, but it was a sweet movie.
Isn't Jim Gaffigan in that one?
Yeah, he plays the dad. He's also like a lawyer. It reminded me of Heavyweights meets Napoleon Dynamite. If you saw the movie, you'd understand Heavyweights. Because all the girls have to like win a merit badge to qualify to go to this championship.
Oh, okay. I was like thinking of Ben Stiller when he turns crazy and he's like breaking glass and he's walking on it. Like...
Or how about that kid? That was a scene I never forgot, Jordan. I asked you what movie it was from. With that kid, he finds a rat and he goes, "Where have you been all my life?" And he stabs it with a knife and eats its insides. Like, where was that movie from? That's from Heavyweights. I never forgot that. Thank you, Heavyweights, for scarring my childhood. And then the last thing I watched was The Boys on Amazon.
You finally watched it? Oh, yeah.
This is the weird thing, because when I recommend it on the show, if you hate superheroes, I'd recommend this for you, because it's the perfect counterbalance in our culture to the whole Marvel cinematic universe. Because if you think your heroes are just like these people that you aspire to be, this movie like takes everything you've thought about superheroes and just inverses it and subverts all your expectations. So I really enjoyed The Boys. I really like it. It's
Did you see Seth Rogen's cameo? Do you know he produced the show?
yeah, I saw Seth Rogen. Yeah, it's like House of Cards meets like
Game of Thrones?
DCU comics. Well, I don't know about Game of Thrones, but I'm sure it's very similar.
Definitely Game of Thrones meets Avengers or Justice League.
It's phenomenal. I think it's a really well-told story.
Have you seen The Boys, Lydia?
I have not seen it, but now I feel like I really need to.
Okay, well, I mean, if you don't like Game of Thrones style stuff, then they do have it on VidAngel. We watched it edited with my brother, so.
Buckle up, Buttercups. Yeah, this show is grisly for sure. It holds no punches with language and violence. That's just unbelievable. But again, there was like unnecessary things.
I disagree, though. I think even people that like superheroes would like it.
I'm a nerd about superheroes, and I freaking loved it.
Even if you hate superheroes, you actually might like this. Does that make sense?
Okay.
That's what I should clarify.
Yeah.
For example, there's a support group for people that have been partially saved by superheroes, but they still have like PTSD.
You're
and The Incredibles
pathetic.
touched on that when he stops that guy's suicide and, he gets sued for it. Everything you hoped to see that doesn't typically make it into a Marvel movie. The Boys is crazy TV. On Amazon Prime, there's an excellent movie called Arctic I just started. It's got Mads Mikkelsen. He's the chief in Casino Royale. He's also the guy in The Hunt.
I watched Green Room, which was fantastic, insane. 1917, another fantastic film. I don't feel at home in this world anymore. Freaking weird as crap, but good.
When he throws the ninja star into the wall, he tries to pull it out. That's how hard I threw it.
I just love the scene where the old man breaks her finger, and then he just comes out of nowhere and just kills the dude. I was like, what the fudge? That dude's 70 years old and just punched him in the head. Dawn of the Dead, which I really enjoyed. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. I actually gave it a 9 out of 10.
I feel like I need a sound effect and applause. Yeah.
And then 28 Days Later, I really enjoyed that film. Zombieland, really good as well. Then I watched Seven. And then The Boys, oh, fantastic. District 9, also really good. While You Were Sleeping, watched that with Mom. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good rom-com.
She got me to watch that too. That's really funny.
Chernobyl, holy cow, dude. I hated it, how real it was. I mean, it's just scary to think about.
Isn't it so frustrating?
And no, it's totally fine. Chernobyl, only 9 recorded deaths, guys, happened as a result of Chernobyl.
That is
When he
bullcrap.
comes in, you're hallucinating. He's hallucinating. Okay. Oh, I hated that one.
Oh,
dude.
I know, right?
Mustache. Shut up and obey my orders. I was like, oh my gosh, you're gonna get everyone killed. But I mean, at the same time, he thought there was a fail safe, so it's a tough situation. Today I watched The Incredible Hulk. I was actually decently surprised. It wasn't too bad.
Ty, were you at the theaters with us when we saw Iron Man and the Hulk on the same day?
Yeah, but if you're referring to The Incredible Hulk, or you're referring to...
Yeah, The Incredible Hulk. It's a solid 5 out of 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Ang Lee's
No.
Hulk. I saw both in theaters, and yes, I was there the day we went and saw Iron Man and Incredible Hulk. And for the first time, it was the Avengers are assembling.
Yeah.
And I was like, is anyone else here at the theater freaking out?
We're the only people that like to stay through the credits. We saw something nobody else was seeing. We're like, what the heck is happening? We were freaking out. It was amazing.
The one I watched last night, holy fudge, was Gone Girl. Oh, I'm young. Dude, that movie is so freaking good. Oh, dude, it had me questioning so many things during the film. I was wanting to be on Ben Affleck's side, but then there was moments where I'm like, oh no, dude, you're kind of a horrible human being and a horrible husband, so it's kind of hard to stick on your side if you're not murdering her. But I was like, mwah. David Fincher. Oh, David Fincher, he's just a mastermind. Freaking watched so many good ones. Cranked out 2 series as well. Man, I need help. I have a problem.
Oh, dude, well, I did all that with you. Oh, yeah. And thanks for the recommendation for District 9, Ty, even though I wanted to watch Silence of the Lambs with Cameron, but,
I know, I still gotta watch that as well. Watchmen, and then Nocturnal Animals.
Did we watch 7 together, Cameron?
Yeah, remember, George, 7 was the one that we stopped it at 12:30, and then I woke up 5 hours, I slept in the chair, and then I woke up 5 hours later and finished it, and then went back to bed.
Is it as good? I mean, would you even put it close to? Because that's made by the same guy that did Zodiac. Do you think it's anywhere near? No.
No, I give it 8 out of 10. It was a fantastic film, but it's not the same caliber, at least for me.
It's just crazy because Brad Pitt's one of your favorite guys. I guess.
I know.
Jake Gyllenhaal's.
What's in the box?
I honestly would have given it a 9 out of 10. I was a little just disappointed at the ending. I wouldn't suggest maybe a different thing. It just kind of was wow.
Cameron, it's Gwyneth Paltrow's head in a box. What do you mean?
Oh my gosh, man, we are spoiling all left and right.
I wasn't expecting it, but I was just saying, I don't know, it wasn't the ending that I wanted.
Cameron wanted Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow riding off in the sunset. Or maybe Morgan Freeman narrating, and it was that time that we caught the killer.
That was a good impression.
That was pretty good time.
Thank you. The moment the aliens landed on our planet, they were doomed. Tiny microscopic organisms.
Wait, that was War of the Worlds. What's going on?
It was just as disappointing of an ending. Talk about movie endings that let you down, man.
My gosh, you were spoiling movies left and right.
Little alien reaching his hand out. Yeah.
I like War of the Worlds. Whatever time you used to watch it to run, every time Tom Cruise runs.
Dude, I love running with my boy Tommy, man. Me and Tom Cruise, man, go way back. I'll put on Mission Impossible, put on War of the Worlds. I still like to run to it. It's just the ending's disappointing. I still like the whole movie. It's just the last 5 minutes. But it's the actual book. It's just like, hey, our germs that we live and breathe every day killed the aliens. It's like, eh.
You know what movie I like to run to is Clash of the Titans. It puts me in tears for some reason. I don't know what it is. It's just...
Call it Runner's High, Jordan.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I'm crying. Turns on a treadmill.
Clash of the Titans. I can guarantee
I
you
know.
that.
It's so good. No, it's because like I can't control it either. It's just like it's so
It's
weird.
called Runner's High.
Yeah.
Jordan, can you cry on demand?
I thought about that the other day. I'm like, I wonder if I could be a good actor. I'm like, can I make myself cry right now? And I just started crying. I'm like, hey, it worked.
I don't know if that makes you a good actor or just a depressed human being. I've always tried that, Jordan, just to be able to cry on demand or whatever, just like messing with somebody. I'm like, can I do this? And it, like I've been able to do it a couple of times, but it's kind of hard. You just got to think of something super sad.
Karen, you need to explain to me and everyone else listening, what was the scenario or situation in which you were like, some fake crying could really do me some good right now? Like, were you talking to someone and they're like, you're breaking up with me? And you're like, oh, she's going to think I'm super heartless. Yeah, it's really hard for me to do. What on earth are you doing? Like that you're like,
No, it's like joking with friends or whatever. Like they roast me or whatever, and I'm like, you know, and I'm like, can I make myself cry?
Wait. So your friends insult you, and then you're like, why don't I cry in front of all my friends? How's that working out for you, Kim?
so they can roast me harder.
So Karen,
I'll go with kind of mommy.
This will get them back.
my God.
This will get them back for sure. This will teach them to insult me.
Taking down bullies one at a time.
Oh my gosh.
With
that's
crocodile
hilarious.
tears. And then later you can be like, I wasn't even really crying. I was just fake crying to make you guys care.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, I'm
This
crying
has
right
been
now.
Willow.
Oh.
Jordan, you could be
On
an
demand.
actor.
On demand. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Jordan, compose yourself.
I'm a hot mess right now. Oh jeez, I gotta get some tissues.
That is a roll of toilet paper, Jordan.
Oh my gosh. Oh, funny.
Oh, sorry, I just came back from Costco. Had to stack up on toilet paper.
Oh yeah, I don't use tissues. I use toilet paper.
Oh my word! If it's good enough for my anus, it's good enough for my
Oh my
future
gosh.
ducts. Guys, I have had so much fun today.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I might just be tired. Oh jeez.
Yeah, we should probably
Dude,
call it.
this is when the
It's been
best
2 hours,
stuff
dude.
comes out. This is when the best stuff comes out, dude. This will be the
I know. Maybe
extra
we need to start
long podcast.
recording when it's later.
No, but then the guests aren't gonna want to come on.
It's only funny to us. People are listening and they'll be like, "Are you guys like drunk right now?" It's like, no, just stayed up till 10:30 at night.
I know, right? I know. That's funny because I took Nick to one of our church dances. He's like, "Oh man, you guys embarrass yourself even when you're not drunk." So good.
That's hilarious.
Jordan, tell our listeners where they can send an email.
Futro Hidden Movie Gems. No, oh my gosh, that's wrong. FutroMovies@gmail.com.
I was waiting to bash you. You're wrong.
I fixed it.
Write us a letter because we're all lonely and we can all cry on demand.
In front of our friends, which makes us lose those friends. Those few friends that we have.
And we're acting like we're crying because we made ourselves cry, not because we're genuinely depressed. Cameron's like, see, I'm crying right now. I'm doing it on demand. It's like, are you sure you're not depressed? Do you have clinical depression? But I'm not laughing at depression on this podcast, by the way. Yes, I am.
Is
No, I feel like I'm in a lunatic, dude. Am I taking crazy pills?
You know what movie we're doing next week?
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh
Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
masterpiece.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to talk about that.
Yeah, and dude, with their awesome guest.
with our guest, Anna.
Subscribe, leave a review. Make sure you don't miss out on any content. So subscribe to Futro Hidden Movie Gems. On our YouTube channel, you can see where we announce our movies there. Jordan does excellent videos and edits them, and they're so funny. If you're a cinephile like all of us here, we just have such a great time watching them, and I'm sure Jordan has as much fun making them as we enjoy watching them.
It might be fun to announce really quick, too. Every 5th Friday of the month, because some months have 5th Fridays, we're going to do a bad movie night.
Everybody, thanks for tuning in to Futuro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. This is Ty Christensen, Jordan Christensen, Cameron Mickle signing off. We appreciate you guys tuning in, watching Willow with us.
We love you, Matt Mardigan.
Willow! Take care.
Peace.